Welcome, everyone. Fred Gleek here once again with Bill Deweese at the end of a Friday afternoon where he's been working really hard, I'm sure, but I'm sure he's been working super hard. You're here for the podcast slash YouTube channel. So, Bill, how was your week?
It was good. $5,262. So,
Slightly over the goal. And as I
yeah.
understand it, whenever you make over 5,000, that amount immediately has to be given to Vicky in cash.
Yeah. Don't be giving her any ideas.
Sounds good. So tell me what happened on Monday.
Well, Monday it was actually a very slow day Monday. I did some work. I'm the voice for Immaculate Heart Radio Network, so I did some recordings for them. I did some basic computer training and then a couple of on-hold scripts, one for a church and another for a DuPage Medical Group, a local medical
By
concern.
local, do you mean local Chicago or local
Local
Berlin?
Chicago.
Got it. Local.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the term local for you, I don't know if it means in the Bourbonnais area or in the
Yeah, no, it's kind of like, in your Los Angeles, you can drive an hour and a half in any given direction. You're still in Los Angeles, and it's kind of the same thing here.
Gotcha. Okay, sounds good. So then that day produced about how much in revenue? Because I remember the next day was actually pretty
It was
good.
like $235. It
Ooh,
was,
wow.
yeah.
Way below target.
Tuesday, I made over $1,700.
Nice.
Yeah, and I did some work for Enterprise Car Rental. Recorded some more on hold messaging for airports, which I do for them on a regular basis.
Yep.
I did some more work for Jacuzzi, hot tubs.
Yeah, you'll have to talk to them, like I said. Mention.
Yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Yes, I will do that.
Make a note. Make a note.
Make a note. I did some recording for. There's a station out in Wyoming, a classic rock station, KVVD, The Drive. Did some work for them. Did some training narration for Farmers Insurance. I picked up a new client through Voice 123 to do an explainer video.
Now I got a question, and I bet
Yeah.
a number of people maybe have been asking this as well. Every time you say you picked up a new client,
Yes.
and let's say you pick up two a week, my thought is that at some point then you're going to be making $10,000 a week because you've got all these new clients. So
Yes.
presumably, as you pick up new, some of the old ones die through attrition, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because-
So yeah, that's exactly what will happen eventually.
Got it.
Because it used to be to make making a couple $1,000s a week, and then 3,000, 4, now 5,000, and yeah, my master plan to
Yes.
rule the world will be that eventually, yes, it will hit 10,000 a week.
Got it. And the thing about that is, though, is that you need to keep filling the pipeline with new clients because all others just drop out.
Right, and better paying clients. So I tend to audition now for higher paid jobs than I used to.
Got it. Okay, good. So now on Tuesday, big day, you want to, again, was there anything else we needed to talk about in terms of what you got done?
No, I did a little thing for as identity theft risk, a little narration, and that was pretty much it.
Right. Okay, so then Wednesday comes along and
I did some training narration for Philips, and I did a narration for a company called Who Knows. I just did some pickup recordings. So I don't even know what that is.
I thought it might have been a web browser kind of thing.
Maybe. I'm sorry. I have to go back and look at the script.
This last 10 days or so brings up an important question I think that we need to sort of share with everybody else, which is you've been Mallory-less for the last 10 days.
Yeah.
Now, and Mallory had her baby Thursday before last, so it's been 8 days now?
Yeah, right, exactly.
So my question is, again, many people who are listening or watching don't have an assistant.
Right.
And for those who don't have an assistant, they have to do all of this stuff themselves, which eats into the time that they would normally, if they had enough time, be doing actual work, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So now in your case, because she's not there, did you have to cut back on any of your work in order to get done some of the stuff that she normally does?
What I did have to, not on the recording, I was able to get all of that done. I didn't have to cut back. I did fewer auditions than I would have liked to have done, and a lot of things just had to get piled in the to-do pile when she comes back, like keeping up billing clients and a lot of those things that if it didn't require attention this week, it got put off till next week.
Got it. And she's expected back when?
She'll be back Monday full time. She came in for a few hours today and yesterday. Yeah, for real. And it does speak to, I think, a big picture thing here, and that is really to grow, you have to be willing to do some things that are scary. And the idea, and I'll be honest, it was when I hired her, it scared me a little bit because I thought, can I afford to give up that money? What I got in return was so much more.
Yeah.
It's like giving up low pay clients once you fill your pipeline.
So then, for the person listening, we need to give them some kind of an idea of how to compute when they should consider that fact. How do you think? What should the calculation be, or the calculus be to do this?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly how I remember I did it more by feel. I didn't have an exact number.
Yeah.
But I got to a place, Fred, where I just couldn't keep up. It was the amount of jobs and all of the editing and the billing. It was just more than I could keep up with. And I realized that if I did have somebody, even if it was a few hours a day, that could take care of those administrative tasks, I could spend more time auditioning because you're only making money when you're recording. It's the only time you make money.
Yeah. Now, this is a question that you probably won't be able to answer me exactly, but you can probably come up with an approximate. By adding Mallory into the mix, at that particular point that started, you started to make less money because you were having to pay her salary. At what point?
Yeah.
At what point did it break even or exceed what you were making, including her as an expense?
Believe it or not, I never felt the pinch. I don't even remember feeling any pinch because it was almost immediate. I mean, within weeks, I was already booking more work.
You kind of busted into the seams.
Yeah, yeah. And as soon as she took over, then I bared down on the marketing and on the auditioning, and more work immediately started coming in.
Wow. Okay. So then what do you think? Is there any kind of a general lesson or idea that we can share with people listening or watching?
Yeah, it's just, you have to realize that the things that got you to where you're at may not be the things that take you to the next level. And that's what, businesses have a hard time growing because they have to rethink how they operate, what they do and what they're not going to do. And I've had to make some very fundamental moves, some very specific moves that were scary. One was hiring somebody. The other was, begin to letting go low-paid clients. Those are the two biggies that were terrifying, in all honesty, but they've significantly increased my income.
So now, when did Mallory come on board?
It's been like 5 years.
Did it happen soon, right before or just after you came to my event that we met each other at?
It was right around then, and it must have been after that. I think it was shortly after that.
Okay, so shortly after you came. So that's, again, this December, it'll be 5 years.
I think I brought her on the beginning of that next year, like January, February.
Okay, cool. Good. And because I think it's important for people to understand how this works. Now, in order for, and I assume, and it's probably the case, that the vast majority of people listening or watching this particular episode don't have an assistant. So what are the tools that they must have to do these things themselves? When you say billing, I know you use QuickBooks. Is that how you determine how stuff works there?
We use FreshBooks, which is an online cloud-based, and Mallory tells me it's very easy and simple to operate.
Got it. So FreshBooks, as we've discussed before, is what she uses. What other things, if people are doing this themselves, you've got a system for auditioning, a system for keeping your books, a system for billing. What are some of the other systems involved?
Well, editing, becoming a very good editor, because that's one of the most time-consuming. It can be one of the most time-consuming tasks.
And by good, you mean not just good, but quick, right?
Yeah, exactly. Good and fast.
Good and fast. And so are all of those things, are they easily, so FreshBooks, you edit with Adobe Audition,
Right.
And again, people, regardless of the tools they use, they've got to have a tool for editing, they've got to have a tool for billing,
Right.
they've got to have a tool for recording, obviously.
Yeah.
They've got to have a tool for sorting through the potential, for client communication, I would imagine.
Yes, and I tell you, to that, Gmail has been fabulous. I've used Act in the past. I've used Salesforce in another job I used to have. Gmail does a great job of tracking client communication.
How do you do it? I mean, I use my Gmail account, and I don't think I'm probably using any of the features that you are, I'll bet.
Well, really, it's the search function, because if I want to find out the string of communication with a client, all I have to do is copy and paste their email address in the search field, and there it is, the entire history.
Do you do any color coding? Do you put it into different envelopes? Do you do any of that?
I don't. No. I keep it. I just simply use the search function. That's all I use, and it's quite the tool, and it makes things so easy. I love it.
Yeah, because some people will put them in separate folders. They'll divide to flag certain people?
Yeah, you got to find a system that works for you. But in all honesty, I'm a less is more kind of guy. And multiple times to the day, Mallory and I are using Gmail, where all we're doing is we're searching a keyword or usually an email address, and it brings up the entire history of our communication with a client.
Now, when you're in the booth and Mallory is outside the booth, how are you communicating?
Skype, just like this.
So you have Skype running in the background all the time.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I do, and that's how we communicate. And it's I think I may have mentioned this last week, but I just moved I was in the basement of my home. I just
Right.
moved upstairs, and Mallory and I are sharing a space now. I'm in one of the guest rooms upstairs, so we wouldn't be taking up two bedrooms in the house. So
Right.
Mallory and I are sharing an office. I'm in the closet of the bedroom in this whisper room. So now I can step out and talk to her if I want to, but I still leave Skype on, and we still talk via Skype.
Got it. Even though she's literally probably 20 feet away.
Yeah, less than that even.
Less than that, yeah. Okay, so that's one tool that you use. Okay, getting back then to the week, we're now up to. Are we at Wednesday? We just passed.
Now we're at Thursday.
Okay, so what happened on Thursday?
Oh, wait a minute. Now, one thing I didn't mention, I did pick up one new client on Wednesday through voices.com.
And that was.
I'm trying to look, my notes just say voices.com. I'm not even sure what was that. It was like an explainer type video, but I can't remember the company, but it was an explainer.
So on Wednesday, I know you did 280, then 1,700. What happened? How much total?
650 on Wednesday.
650 on Wednesday. Okay, moving to Thursday.
Thursday I did 1769.
Wow,
another big day.
When you compare Monday to Thursday, was there a lot more time spent in the booth then?
No, not necessarily. Same amount of time, but I was doing different things.
Got it.
So Monday I was auditioning more.
Got it. Monday you were auditioning more, and then Thursday doing actual recording.
Right. Very few auditions.
Okay. What else? Anything else about Thursday?
Let's see. We had I did work through an agent in Europe for some product called HR Office. I did a little narration for prescription drug benefits. A little commercial for an auction house, some narration for Hitachi, and some more jacuzzi scripts on Thursday.
Now, we have to remind people again that the seminar upcoming, which is filled up, but there's a special offer. Tell us about it.
Coming very soon. There will be a special offer where
yes, as soon as Mallory comes back, we'll allow you to have time.
I was talking to her about that today. I said, Mallory, here's something else we got to do next week. But we want to give you a special offer that will all be recorded and offered after the event, September 19th and 20th. Got it.
So look for that soon to come to your email box. Something regarding the narration event, which filled up in record time.
It did. I mean, like within 2 days.
Only means that the next one either has to have a larger venue or the price has to be jacked up substantially. It's terrible. You know what? I say this with people who are your fans, your clients, et cetera, but this is the reality of business. If Bill is going to be doing some kind of a seminar and the class fills up in 2 days, it indicates one of two things. Well, it indicates there's more demand than there is supply, number one. Number two, it also indicates that the pricing isn't quite. It's almost like you have to move with the market and move things upward. It's just how business works.
Well, it's how you regulate the balance between demand and supply. It's the same thing in the voiceover business. It's like in prices. It's like when there's more demand for your voice, then you can command a higher price and you go to higher price clients. It's just the way it works.
Okay, so Friday. Tell me about Friday.
Friday today I did $667. I did work for a German client for a little narration for a thing called a Scriba. As an explainer video. Some promos for New Mexico PBS. Picked up my third new client this week. Tufts Health Care, some regional. There's a regional commercial.
Tufts through the college because there's a Tufts.
Yeah, I don't know. I wondered that too. I'm not sure. But what was kind of cool about that, I auditioned for that through Voice 123. The client contacted me back today and said they took my recording and put it to music and video for the client. The client loved it, so I got the job, but I don't need to redo anything because they love the audition. So they kept the audition. They said, send me an invoice.
Whoa!
Yeah.
As is.
As is. It's fun to get booked from an audition.
Yeah, well, that's similar to what happened with Chevrolet Find New Roads.
Yeah, they booked that from the audition too.
Yeah, absolutely.
No work needed after that.
And that was a little bit more money.
Just a bit.
Okay. So now you did Mark of the Beast +1 for today, huh? Six,
Mark the Beast
plus
Plus,
one.
yes, exactly. And I did a little car commercial too, local car commercial. And that
So
wrapped up my week. It was a profitable week. This is where I like to be.
absolutely. So a little bit over $5,000 and a good week for Bill. Any other final parting thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I received a really cool email this week, and I hope this is an encouragement. It's a guy who, he's been following my advice and training and videos and all of that, and he called and he emailed me to let me know that he hit his first $1,000 day because his goal is to do $1,000 a day, like what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And he's been doing this part time, mind you. He's not full time; he's part time. And he's been working at it, I don't know how long, but for a while. I mean, he didn't start last week. And he said, I just want to let you know I've been doing all the stuff you said, and I finally hit my first $1,000 day. So it happens. You just have to stay the course.
We need a video testimonial.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, folks, thank you very much for listening. Fred Gleek, and we're here with Bill DeWeese. That's the end of his week, and we'll see you again next time.
Thanks, Fred.